Welcome to Blackboard Tips and Tricks with Professor Ron. Today, we're going to take a look at how to do some audio and video things inside Blackboard Ultra. Let's jump into it. I'm here in my MUSI 1310 American Music CBE course. And Houston, we have a problem. Let's scroll down to where it says Competency 3, the Beatles. I've got some pronto messages, emails, Blackboard messages. Professor Ron, Mr. S, something's not working on a quiz test, a competency 3 post test. The audio's not working. Well, that is correct. I need to fix it. I'm going to click on the folder that says, if I can say click on the folder that says competency 3 post test. Okay. All right. Now I come down here to where it says competency 3 post test, the Beatles. And once I do this, I'm going to scroll pretty quickly. I don't want to give any away the awesome coolness of the Beatles questions to any students that might stumble upon this. I want to really show professors this stuff can be fixed pretty quick. So click the Competency 3 post test. Quick scroll. Okay. All right. Question 9 and 10. You can see they're zeroed out on both of them. It does kind of give it away, but look, I want to hold your hand by the Beatles and let it be. They say the name of the song in the song. So, I mean, I'm not really giving anything away. It's literally impossible to miss these on any kind of American music or history, history of rock or history of, any historical music class. I mean, no one's going to miss these. So now we could certainly spend time talking about why this happened. I'm going to make a separate video for that, as I do know why it happened. But the bigger issue is how to fix it very, very quickly. So whether it was a copy issue from another course or a copy from a dev shell, or maybe there's an issue with export and then import, let's come back to that in another video. For now, let me go ahead and click on the 3 horizontal dots for question 9. I'm going to hit Edit Regrade. The menu is not visible yet. I'm going to click on Music Listening Excerpt. The menu becomes visible. I'm going to go over to Insert Content. I need to head over to Cloud Storage. That's where my stuff is. I'm going to hover there for a second and tell you this. There's different ways to do this in terms of getting your audio, MP3s, in here, or whatever kind of files you're using, for audio and or video files. This is not the only way. And even in cloud storage, we got options for different, cloud storage that you prefer, and I'll go over that in just a second. But this is one way to do it. So let's give it a whirl. I'm going to click Cloud Storage now. You see I've got options for Google Drive, OneDrive, Dropbox, and Box. And while I do use Google Drive, OneDrive, and Dropbox, my biggest use of a lot of stuff I'm doing is actually through Dropbox. So I'm going to click on Dropbox. I need to authenticate, connect. Let's connect to Dropbox. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and type in the email. Give me just a moment here. This one's a little different. Sorry, it's a little different. Don't want to mess this one up. Okay, so that's the email that I use for my Dropbox. And all I need to do now, if I'm prepared and ready to go on this one, and I'm going to log in. You just need to make sure, I'm not going to share my password with you, but email, not a big deal. I guess, hey, email me if you want, or look me up on STC, South Texas College, and probably better to send me an email there if you want to chat with me or get in touch with me through my YouTube channel. So now what I need to do is, I'm connected it, I need to get the folder with all the information I need. So this is STC Music, basically my folder flow. And I got to find, okay, well, where am I going? Well, I need to go to the courses, and I'm going to find the class. Now, I can do either one. I have these audio in a few different classes or, folders. So if I go ahead and check 1310, I click on my course materials, and then I'm just looking for where my MP3s are, my files. I can see I got MP3 now, and I can go there and find it. So you just got to know basically your file navigation. So when I go back to my courses, you gotta be comfortable with this. Everybody is if you use Dropbox. So going back from that STC Music Start 1310, click loading. Going back to some older courses. That's where they are currently anyway. And then making sure things are labeled in such a way that you can find them very, very quickly. It's labeled in an older folder because really at this point, I'm transitioning everything, all my materials to a new 2024 or 2025. A video on that later. Back to the lecture at hand. All right, we get in here, MP3 now, and all I want to do is just find the excerpt. And I know that I need to have. I want to hold your hand. So you're just saying, where is it? Where is it? Oh, there it is. I want to hold your hand, and we're good. We just select it, and look what happens. We import. It'll take a second to roll. And also what I want to do is, I don't want to leave that in there, obviously. So let me show you how I'm going to do that. I can just type it in there. I can just put in there music listening excerpt. I mean, even if I misspell something, I can always go back and fix it. That's the cool thing. So I can say, oh, what if I actually did? And look what happens. You see that? And I just fix it. Kind of cool, right? So I'm just going to put music listening excerpt. I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste that for the next one. All right, music listening excerpt. Let's go ahead and save that. And it's fixed. Isn't that cool? Now, I need to save this. Okay, so we're good there. Now watch what happens if I do this. Okay, fix that space right there. You don't want to. You're going to have this. You don't delete it though. I mean, you hit one more. I mean, you could undo it if you did. So now you can see. I'm going to save it, and if I bring out the volume. This might be too loud, but I'm going to play with the volume. I want you to be able to hear this. If we do a little check, you're like, wait a second, something's not right. Did it not hold? I think that's what we're trying to check right now. Let's do a refresh. We want to make sure we're good to go. I got a quick scroll, and it's fixed. So don't get worried. You got to refresh it so you can actually see, wait, he put it in there, he saved it, and it was still 0. Just refresh, and you're good to go. And now, check it out. I think we're good, doing good. What do you think? Sorry, I got to stop it there. But yeah, I mean, you get the idea there. Now, all we got to do is the same thing. We made sure it's labeled so they don't have any idea what it is. And, I mean, they hear the song, right? So the music listening excerpt has been fixed. We know it works. And while I didn't play everybody's favorite part, please enjoy the music later on if you like. Question 10. Let's fix that. Edit, regrade. Need to get the menu. Now, you can see I did this because there was an issue with a couple students in terms of they didn't actually get the credit. So it was me trying to give credit for that. I could do individual credit or everybody credit. But I think if students have already gotten it wrong, and because this was my mistake, I should have caught it. I'm going to go ahead and give credit, but definitely want to be careful on this stuff. But because it was a mistake and the class is pretty quick, I want to be fair, nice, and cool about this. So if it is a mistake, yeah, I mean, give the class credit, basically like curving that part. But if you, of course, fix this beforehand, or you could just do individual credit to the students that it got, that was messed up on or glitched or whatever. But at any rate, this is totally up to you on that part, how you're going to handle that. I'll save that. I mean, I'm good with that. I should have caught this. It's my fault. So either full credit after you fix it, or individual credit to those students that you can actually do that on their individual. Okay, so we'll go over back to 10. Okay, and we got to fix it. So for now, I'll take this off and get that menu. We're going to go to cloud storage. We're going to we want to get back to Dropbox, and it really holds all the settings. It's super cool. It's all there still. So STC Music, go to my courses, and MUSI 1310, keeping the flow going. I haven't transferred, so I'm still using the old folder, at least for now, until I move everything over and work on my new stuff here. Get to my very cool MP3 now, okay? And I just need to get to let it be. So you're just looking for the file, good to go. Let it be, and I'm going to import that. And the same thing, the copy and paste held. Let's see. Yeah, isn't that cool? It holds. Okay, music, listening, excerpt. Adds a little space. You just backspace it. Just don't do more than one when you do something like that, because you'll delete it. But of course, if you know the shortcuts for undo, all that stuff, you can fix all that. Like if I did, check it out. If I make a mistake, watch this. This is kind of cool. Oh no, what do I do? Command Z on a Mac. For PC, I don't have that part memorized, but you could check out those commands. Nothing to worry about. So same thing. This is my fault. It's a very, very short and quick class. I'm going to go ahead and give full credit instead of doing individual credit. It's not something I typically do unless it's a boo-boo on my part. But hey, got to be honest. If I make a boo-boo and it's a short class, you're talking 5 to 7 week course. These classes move. I just want to be nice and cool about it. But you can actually just do that individual to those particular students, or make it extra credit. It's totally up to you. I'll cover some of those things in another video. But the bigger thing is, even if you do that, you still want to make sure, like, if you don't do that, whatever you're going to do on the credit, extra credit, or individual credit, make sure that you click save. Save. All right, I'm going to go back and let's check 9. Okay, I'm good with that. And I'm going to go back and go ahead and give credit on this one. Just wanted to show you if I didn't do it, and save. Come back here. Let's save that. Yeah, update. And this is important too. Let me show you that again, because I'm kind of moving here. Like when I take it off, check out that I keep glossing through this. Update and regrade the question. You made updates to this question after students started their attempts. Your updates will affect existing attempts and attempts in progress. Student grades will be updated, but the new grades may not appear immediately. Nothing to worry about. It's just know that, like, update and regrade. And if students have taken it, then it's going to update the grade, but it could take a few minutes. So this thing is important. All right. So I come back. Yeah, we're good on that. It's the last check. Back to 10. I'll go ahead and play it too. Kind of see that. Scroll down. Okay. All right. And again, you see, like, oh no. I mean, he's doing all this stuff and even showing a couple times, but question 10, what's happened? It's still zeroed. Just refresh. You ready? Isn't this cool? I need to do a quick scroll. It's like, hey, what's going on there? Like, giving all the questions away. Okay, so we see, like, something's going on here. So it should be there, and we're not seeing that. So we've got to see what's the issue here. We can see this one's working. Okay, let's try again. Refresh again, and then a quick scroll. And it just doesn't want to work. Okay. We're going to see. Now, this also could be an issue with, I shouldn't have to clear the cache necessarily. Sometimes that can be an issue. But let's double check. Let's see why it's being so finicky. It should not be this finicky. STC music. Going back to courses. If I can talk tonight. 1310. Course materials. We're heading back to MP3 now. All right. And we need let it be. And you know what? Maybe I didn't hit select. But you got to get, okay, let it be. We're good. Import. And it should be going. Okay, and going through this flow again. I see it. Okay, and I see the timestamp. I'm going to backspace that one. I'm I'm going to save it. Okay, and I do see the 00 issue. So the other thing I can do, let's get out of here real quick. Let's do another click the test folder. Let's do really quick, zooming through here. Cool, working. Yeah, sometimes these things can be finicky. And I know some of that I'm clicking fast because it's a live class. I don't want to give away all the questions. But you can see we're good to go, whether it's a refresh. And while maybe I didn't have to redo it, maybe I could have just refreshed a couple times, or, could have clicked out and come back. Sometimes, tech can be finicky, and you got to tinker with it a little bit. So if you follow the steps and you do it, make sure you actually click the file. Make sure you click, import the file, relabel this so they don't, you got to label it something, whether you number them or not or whatever. And if, the refresh isn't working, I just live, oh goodness, what's going on? Then just pop out of there and come back and good to go. So we've already tested this one. Now we hit number 10. You hear it's rolling. Yeah. I'd love to say this is always going to be easy, but sometimes things can get bogged down. And you shouldn't have to clear cache and history by any means to do any of this stuff. Sometimes the clearing the cache maybe, but something like this, usually it's just a refresh, or it can take a second to to get those numbers to show. It's not always you're not always going to be I can't snap it in a snap of a finger. It's just instantaneously. This technology is just not always that quick and smooth and easy. Sometimes you got to tinker and you got to wait and be patient. And I want things to happen in the snap of a finger. We all do, but it just doesn't always flow that way. So kind of keep that in mind with your audio. Okay, now I got to get out of here because this is live, and I'll send them a message later that they know it's all fixed. Now, as I go through, this is live, so this is my issue, or not my issue, my reason for hey, make sure you double check, Professor Ron. You don't want to. But of course, I can always fix details later. Got to be very careful in the live classes. I don't have to, close the disclosure triangle. I mean, you can just click out of here and everything will be clear and clean. So that's basically one of the things on my list was just hey, let's try to fix this. So hope that helps. Awesome. Cool. Let's why don't we take a look at another thing that we could do. So let me get out of this class, and let me show you some really cool things in music appreciation. Now, I don't know if it's not that it's a really cool thing in music appreciation. Well, I think it is, but I'm just going to use this class as an example to do a couple things in. I think we'll grab my notes. Sorry, my pencil and my notes here. So what we want to do now is let's take a look at maybe if we have, say, a PowerPoint or a Word document or PDF, and hey, can I turn that into audio? What are audio things that I can do with other files, basically? So let me show you a couple things, and I'll leave this other tab open so we can explore something with some video. All right, so how about maybe we go, let me check. Let's take a look at one of them, maybe one I've been tinkering with here. Yeah, we'll do Module 1, the elements of music. Let's take a look. Let's see if I got it in week 2. We'll look at week 2, elements of music 1, PowerPoint, audio examples. Let's take a look. This is one I've just been kind of playing around with and trying to see, okay, well, can I do this? Can I do that? Now, what I will say right here, this is where my PowerPoint is, and audio samples, examples, and I'm doing them all through playlist, as you can see. And I've got 13 of these live class lectures. They were all live streamed for this course, and they access the playlist right here. I'm kind of zippity doodah, zippity yay, just kind of going through real quick. But you see on this page, I've got my image placeholder, hey, it's music class, yay. Now, this right here, Elements of Music PDF, this is just for the training for this video. The Elements of Music DOCX, this is just for the training as well. These things are actually just for this actual training, but when the students come into the course, they would actually see this PowerPoint here, and of course, the live class lectures that I have live streamed, and would also see the 103 audio samples examples that I talk about in the lectures. They're mentioned in the PowerPoint, but I talk about the songs and the story and the history and all the cool stuff about the music in the lectures. So it's a lot of music, but hopefully it's all pretty fun, cool, and awesome. So playlists on Professor Ron YouTube education channel to help all my students with my courses that I teach. American music, music appreciation, applied percussion, fundamentals of music, and some other classes, some other things. But that's the heart of stuff. So okay, so what we're trying to do is figure out if you had a PDF in your course. Could you convert that, or could the students convert it into audio so they could take it on the go on their cell phone? The answer is yeah, totally can do that. Now, I didn't make this the accessibility score perfect on these. I usually do. I'm usually aiming for 100% or just stay in the green, which this one is, where this one's a perfect score. But in this case, just because I was doing it for the training, I'm not worried about the accessibility right now. For all you professors out there trying to fix all that, I have other videos on that, and I'll do more down the line as well. Why don't we do this? I'm going to show you this. This is the PowerPoint. So you see my PowerPoint, 1 of 6 elements of music, and just do a little scroll here. Show you like, oh, yay, cool. Some music appreciation, melody, harmony, rhythm, get some beat and syncopation, some different songs, playlist, and whoa, what are dynamics, and who are all these bands and groups, and got a mix of classical music and hip hop, rap, rock, all different kinds of stuff, So, and then if I click on the PDF, now this is the actual script. Now I don't give this to students, but I mean, they could get the closed captioning from the video. I have the live streams, or there's 13 videos live streamed for this course, but I also have shorter, condensed videos that are animated. So in my live streams, it's me chatting like I am now, but there's a PowerPoint on the screen. And on my animated videos, it's just B-roll. It's like video. I'm not in there, but there's video playing with different kinds of animations or B-roll. And I'm going through, going through the script in basically a more condensed manner for the general public. So those are kind of fun for anybody. But I hope they're all fun, the live streams and this. But I wanted to see, could I take my exact script and what would it sound like to turn that into audio? So if you put up PDF files, no matter what it is, PDF file, Docx file, or PowerPoint, like I wanted you to see kind of how that conversion works from the PDF, Docx, PPT file, like that conversion from there to audio. So here's what we got. Remember, I'll come back to this later because this is training. Now, if I want to just start here, what I'm going to do is I'll click on Download Alternative Formats. And a whole host of options. I'm not going to do them all today. I mean, goodness, it could take 30 minutes to an hour to go through each one. But I'm highlighting audio today, so let me get this audio MP3 for listening, and I'm going to download that. And it's going to download and go. Isn't that cool? And then what we want to do is like, well, did it work? And come over here, and I'm going to click it. Okay, give me a second here. Let me make sure. Let me get over here let me move it over a little bit.
Title: Imagine a world without music. Think about that for a moment. Begin heading level 1. Imagine a world without music. Think about that for a moment. Begin paragraph text. Could we live without music? Could you live without music? For humans to survive, we need food, water, air, and shelter. Of course, we can't forget about sleep and clothes.
Isn't that cool? I mean, now that's just from, I'm just downloading where I'm like, it is a PDF of my actual lecture that has been recorded. And for this one, the live stream and the animated video, it's virtually identical. I guess the difference would be maybe the jokes in the live stream, maybe. That's probably the biggest difference in live stream. I'll tell jokes and I'll interact with students and other people that are attending the lectures, mostly students, of course, probably all students. So my, jokes or pauses are going to be different, but all the scripts are identical. So that takes the PDF to audio. It's pretty awesome. But it's not necessarily set perfect with all the proper headings. That wasn't my goal on the script, at least. But if it is set up, obviously, you won't have any funky repeats or issues with. You want to be careful with images, of course, in PowerPoint and objects, and you'll have to make sure everything is all good on that. So that's PDF to MP3 if it's pretty clean and organized, it'll sound pretty awesome, and the student can take that on the go. They can actually do that. So for professors and students alike, this is something you can really, lean into and use as a very cool tool. If I can talk. So what about Elements of Music Docx file? Now it's the same thing. It's my script again, but it's a Word file. So we're talking going from my script, or you could say you maybe you have notes that you want to share. It could just be an explanation, whatever you're using, PDF documents for or Word documents for, and you're putting them in your classes, or for students trying to access them. It's pretty cool. You PDF to audio, Word file to audio, and this is what you do. You got it in there. It's there. It's good to go. You come up here, click on Download Alternative Formats. And, if you wanted something different, obviously, but we want audio. So you can see tagged PDF, HTML, EPUB, electronic braille, audio, Beeline Reader, immersive reader, translated version. This is so awesome. I'll do more on these later, but let's get this audio file. Okay, and I'm going to make a little change just in case maybe the labeling. Okay, well, and it already did. It put the 1 on there, so that way I would know. But I'll go ahead and put and I'll fix this. It's not absolutely necessary. I'll put and maybe Docx2 audio lecture 1. Yeah, not super essential or necessary, but really just for kind of me to keep things straight. I'm gonna get this one out of here. Don't need it. And let's do this. Just make sure. Okay, cool. Click it.
Title: A World Without Music. Begin paragraph text. Imagine a world without music. Think about that for a moment. Could we live without music? Could you live without music? For humans to survive, we need food, water, air, and shelter.
Cool, right? And that was just from me, for professors and students alike. Really, I really think this is super cool. Let me empty the trash. Technology can be such an amazing thing and really awesome tool. Just there can be some brick walls, roadblocks, some speed bumps along the way. It's something that can be super helpful. Imagine if you're a professor, you've been teaching 20, 30, 40 years, just all this new wicked technology, and you're like, man, I suddenly got asked to teach an online class. What do I do? Well, if you have lecture notes, honestly, you could just put them right here, and you can convert them. Now, obviously, it's going to sound the way that it sounds, with the conversion process. You'd have to re-record them, but it gives you a starting point for having some kind of audio file that you do or the students could do. So look, where there's a will, there's a way. All right, so that's the PDF conversion to audio. That's Docx file conversion to audio. How's the PowerPoint come out? Well, let's do it. So download alternative formats. We're selecting our audio. And I'll go ahead, just, for my sanity, really. PowerPoint. Let's go to PowerPoint to audio. Because if I did actually wanted to save these. All right. It may not be this quick on your end, so that's going to be kind of relative to, we'll leave that alone for right now. And I'm kind of shifting this to the side a little bit. I'm not going to open this in Apple Music, so I'm just kind of doing it where I'm clicking on it and pressing the space bar on my Mac.
Title, Elements of Music. Image without alternative description. Begin heading level 1, Elements of Music. Begin paragraph. Text, melody, harmony, rhythm and amp. Dynamics. Image without alternative description. Begin image with description, a musical splash of notes falling off the page. End image. Image without alternative description. Begin heading level 1, melody. Image without alternative description. Image without alternative description. Begin bulleted list with 3 items. Item 1 of 3, series of notes forming a distinct recognizable unit. Item 2 of 3, can produce an overwhelming emotional experience. Item 3 of 3, the lyrical character of music. Begin paragraph. Text.
Okay, I'll stop it right there. So you can see there's a few things I'd want to take a look at, in terms of the, alternative text and description. Now I'm still on the green and it is showing that I'm 100% in compliance. And it still doesn't mean you're perfect. Perfect isn't always actually perfect. So there's still stuff I could actually improve. So that's our PowerPoint to audio MP3. I'm going to get rid of that. I don't need it. Be careful about this trash emptying. Don't do that unless you know what you're doing there. You don't want to mistakenly get rid of stuff you need. All right. I'm going to come back up here. So we basically tested the PDF to audio MP3, DOCX to the audio MP3, and then PowerPoint. And even when you see like accessibility score perfect, that's what I mean. Like by the standards, I'm perfect, but I know I could do better. So the goal is the green. And if I open that up, maybe in PowerPoint, it's all good. Now, by setting it this way, you are setting it to be, for the alternative formats to work, it's got to be set up where it's, downloadable. So the thing here, let's see, let's look at, download original file, view accessibility score. So let me click edit content. And this is important. I know people can get really nervous about this. So you see file options, view and download, view only, download only. For the alternative formats to work, you have to select view and download. And you want to make sure to have a display name, of course, that makes sense. Now, view only, of course, this is great for maybe just images. Download only, if it's just, something that really doesn't need much explanation and they don't need to visually see it in the course, it's something they just need to download and work on their own and maybe re-upload forms or something. Or, it's totally up to you. But the view and download is what's going to activate, all the alternative formats. And for anyone that gets nervous about like how that would work, say maybe with a PowerPoint or a PDF, that you actually can lock any files. And all right, let's download the PowerPoint. All right, so I'm going to download the original file. Downloading now. I'm going to save that to the desktop. All right, I'll change the window here. Not going to worry about the downloads right now. And I'll just move it to the side a little bit. I could, of course, minimize as well. Let's do this. And if I just want to lock the file, all I really have to do, if I don't want anybody to edit my files and I want to like fully upload them and have them locked, okay, I'm going to go to Get Info. Now, it's going to give me all the deets here, and I'm just going to lock it. See, it says locked right there, and it puts a little lock on the file. Okay, it's long just because of the more info, just because it's, I'm downloading it from, I'm downloading it from Blackboard Ultra. Obviously, if it's from my computer, it's not going to have the long-winded more info from HTTPS, South Texas College of Blackboard, all that information. But that's because I've downloaded it, just kind of showing you the ropes here, what the student's going to see. So now it's locked, and we're good to go. Now, if I actually open this, I'm going to click on my locked file. Now, this is my file, my computer, so it's going to let me do stuff, and the student will be able to tinker this as well. But let's say they like try to change this instead of melody, like, well, I'm going to be funny here. I'm going to put moo. Okay, fine. And then look what happens. I'll click save, and you get an error message. To keep your changes, you'll need to save the presentation with a new name or different location. While that can be hit or miss, possibly for students and or teachers, this is actually my file, so it's going to let me do that. I'm going to go ahead and do, I can do save as if I want. Okay, so I'm going to put in save to the desktop. I don't necessarily want to keep that. Now, certainly we have to test this theory out to see, well, this is my file, so it's letting me do save as. I mean, the way this is supposed to work is if the student downloads this file on their computer, the lock shouldn't actually let them do save as. But we want to, of course, be careful about, intellectual property. I mean, really, in the grand scheme of things, it's a PowerPoint, so you may not want to include all your notes. Now, I put my original PowerPoints because it is easier for getting accessibility to go through. And while I won't put my notes in there, I mean, if I want to have notes, I'll have that to the side or maybe a notes version or whatever. But you got to kind of find your own flow. But you can lock it, and they shouldn't be able to edit. But as we know, technology is constantly changing and evolving and revised, edit, update, that kind of thing. But the idea behind the lock, it does lock it so that it opens as a read-only file. And while I'm on my computer, and it did let me, like, hey, if you want to save it, you got to, if you want to change something, you got to save as. Now, it's not really supposed to be the case for, students that download your files, but these things are, are changing. So, I mean, if it makes you feel better to have the locks as just opening as a read-only, yeah, I mean, that is something you can do, and hopefully they can't. Something I'll test out. Where in another video later where I'll do the same thing and go to a different computer under, a test user and double check where we're at on the different platforms with locks and whatnot. Now, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this idea here. Bring this over here to I want to move it. I'm comfortable with all this because I know exactly what I've been doing. I'm going to get rid of all that. And I want to show you another lock idea. And I could use my prepared files, but if I bring open the class here, so we're having all this really fun, so much fun today. The Docx file, same thing. If I download the original file, bring it to the desktop. Okay, I'm going to get rid of that for a second. Come over here, and same idea, and I can just lock it. When you lock a file like this, at least on a Mac anyway, you get info, lock the file. You're just locking it so it just opens as a read only. But see, I have read and write privileges, so that's what I'm saying. Theoretically, this is supposed to work. So when you do this and then you upload the locked file, you can still have access to view and download and to be able to do all the accessibility things and alternative formats, and everything should be all copacetic. But some more testing on this for sure to come later. So it is locked. So if if I upload this locked file you upload the locked files, PowerPoints, Docx files, whatever, and the student is accessing them and they download the files, they're not supposed to be able to change anything in a locked file. So, but then someone will say, I watched your video and that's incorrect, or it's changed, or sometimes it's this or that, or Mac or PC. Okay, sure. Yeah, there's, where there's a will, there's a way, I suppose, as I probably already said. But it is a deterrent, really, so that it just opens as a read-only file. That much is for sure on the read-only open. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of that one, actually, too, and I'll show you the next thing. Yeah, I'm good. I get all the lock business. Now, it would be if we look at the Docx, PowerPoint, but what's up with the PDF? So let's download the PDF. Keep this going. I'm going to go ahead and minimize. Come over here. We're having fun. Yay. Open Mr. PDF. I'm clicking it, and it's going to open. There we go. And I got a couple options here. So this is kind of cool. Well, let me actually do this. This might be a little smoother. You just take a look at, I can protect using password if I want. Viewing and or editing, and you can set view or edit and then just type in your password, retype, and you're good to go. For a class, I don't recommend doing that, but you may have a reason for having a protected PDF file for viewing and or editing, but it can throw some things off when you're talking about accessibility, alternative formats. So use with caution and make sure that it's purposeful when you're doing any kind of password business there. So protect using password is the one access point. Another access point on PDFs. Now, there are going to be reasons for sure in classes and or the business world or anywhere that you're going to want to protect certain files, whether they be locked or with password protection. For this, document properties, same thing. You just go over to the security tab under document properties, and you've got password security. Boom, there you go. Require password, and obviously hit the box and then go. So just another way. All right, I'm going to get out of here. We're going to clear all this out. And that's going to do it for that portion. Let's get rid of this. We're going to get rid of that. Keep everything nice, clean, and organized. And come back over here to the class. And really, that's pretty much it for the flow of audio in terms of converting all the documents and then kind of going through some of the locks and password protection kind of thing. So cool. Hey, hope that helps. Awesome. Okay, let's take a look at some video things inside Blackboard Ultra. So I teach applied percussion, and in this course there are projects that have to be done, and there's some recording projects and video things. And I recently had a student say, Mr. S or Professor Ron, I'm not really sure what the best way is to do this, whether it's the most efficient or smoothest or easiest or whatever. So let's go through it. If you're in applied percussion, percussion ensemble, or if you're in any kind of video course, engineering course, audio video engineering, or just music related to production, and you're like, okay, how's all this going to work? If I go to my assignments and projects in applied percussion, I'll click on that now, and let's go to capstone projects, end of course projects. All right, we are rocking and rolling. So you see in applied percussion 1 here, your end of course projects, we got the 40 PAS international drum rudiments. Got to make some videos there. 4 videos breaking down all the rudiments. And applied percussion 2, scales, all forms and variations. Got a tempo map and the manual listed and 6 projects here. It's there's some work for sure to become a pro. It's all about professional and training, and let's get it done. They really are pretty fun though. Use a little bit at a time. Applied percussion 3, doing your digital binder, Texas State UIL solo and ensemble. Music for percussion. This is just a straight up project, no audio video required there. And same thing for applied for another project. But students have to figure out, okay, how do I do these these first 2 video projects? That can be kind of daunting. Then I list in here, music notation software, microphones, and these are things that I have in the studio that students can check out and use to do the projects. So they don't have to actually buy anything, but they can use lab computers and microphones from me. My percussion students call me Mr. S, and online I'm known as Professor Ron. But sure, I'm sharing is caring here. All right. So what's a quick and easy way if you're ready to upload the project? Well, I got to get out of here because I'm in teacher mode. So let's go ahead and get out of here. I'm going to go back to the main page here. Let's go ahead and enter student preview so you can see exact student view for students watching this and for professors watching this. Hopefully it's helpful for all. I'm going to clear out the announcements just because, it's a brand new student view. It's just saying, hey, welcome, yay, percussion, music, drums, everything. And let's come back and let's actually try to turn something in. I got a sample here. Back to capstone project in the student view. End of course projects. And I got 2 attempts. Let's go ahead and start attempt 1. And I'm just going to do a quick scroll on this one since I already kind of went through it. Come on down. And you see, oh, submission. Yay. And I'm going to come over here. I've got some choices here. I can do a link, attachment. I can, of course, do, media, YouTube video. Let's go with the path of least resistance. Let's just upload and let's check that out. We're going to put an attachment here. All right, and I want to make sure it's not too big of a file. It's only really concerned in doing something, where you're bringing it in from the cloud, from your storage. When you're actually uploading it into, Blackboard Ultra or whatever the LMS or learning management system is, this is for teachers and students alike. There could be capitas or limits on the amount that students and or teachers can actually include in their course for audio video, because the files can get pretty large. So need to be careful about that in terms of resolution and file size. No reason to do a bunch of fancy 4K and take up a bunch of space unless the project really necessitates or dictates that. And don't use WAV files. They're going to be too big. 4K for video, it's probably going to be too large if you do too many of those and WAV files. So I would suggest MP3s if possible, and HD definition at 720 or is for projects is fine. But if you want 1080p, sure, of course. And yes, if you want 4K, just keep in mind those to higher the resolution. From our high definition up to 1080 and 4K, you're it's going to take up space. So just be aware of capitals. For the student, be aware of that, and for professors, please be aware of that. I think probably everybody's mostly fine, and I typically for my students, I'll just recommend 1080. Stick with 1080, and for audio, do a compressed file. Compress. Go from WAV to MP3 for projects. At least I don't in the studio. A little bit different when you're doing post production and whatnot. You want to be working with full on like WAV files and all the stuff that you're doing in the studio. But for project based in terms of uploading, yeah, just something to be wary of, or cautious of. I should say aware of. So let's go to let's see. This one's a little bit too big. We want to use a small one as a sample project. So 7.7 megabytes. We're going to try this one. We're going to open that file now. This is an actual MOV, not an MP4, but either way, .mov, .mp4, it'll take it. Let's open that. Uploading the project now. It's going to take a minute, but it should be relatively quick if it's not too long. But if it is a longer file, like you're talking it's 5, 10, 30 minutes or whatever, yeah, YouTube, you want to go that way. But if it's something, small and nothing wrong, 1080p, 4K, but it's small, we just got to be thinking about those things. For file options, I'm not going to worry about the fancy name. I think on the student side, you want to make sure to kind of fix all this because this is the beautiful display name. All right, so STC project sample, you name it. If it's scale project 1 or rudiment project 5, or it's if it's the beautiful ocean, I don't know. I'm not that I don't have a bunch of fancy titles on my mind, but you get the idea. Make sure the display name is beautified. Riding your skateboard down Cherry Hill, dream of the cherry blossoms. I don't know. At any rate, save. Okay, and then you see got the project sample there. And that's really it. It's really all you have to do. And I can save and close. Now, if I want to continue attempt, I need to make sure to submit. That's the issue with that. If I move too quick. Save and close will just save it, but I do have to remember, hey, I probably should turn in the assignment. Make sure not to go as quick as I'm going, like slow down a little bit. Yes, save and close is all good if you're going to come back, but make sure right here, gotta hit the submit button. Submit the assignment. Submit presentation. After you submit, you can't edit this presentation. Do you want to continue? And once I do this, we're good to go. Of course, there's 2 attempts. So I'm going to go ahead and submit. Yay! And I can download. Your notifications are set. You'll get this in whatever email you set up notifications. I can download it if I want. I will, but now, let's say I want to do it a different way. And if I show you, come out here real quick, you can see, cool, you can see it. There's your receipt. Done. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. All right, let's come on back. And we don't want to exit student preview yet. What we want to do is go back to assignments and projects, all right, and capstone projects. And we want to say, well, is there another, what if I have this is a really big project. Maybe it's 10 minutes. Maybe it's 20 minutes. Maybe, maybe it's only, I don't know. Sorry about the mouse. Let me fix the mouse there. You have to keep in mind, like, the most efficient, based on, the project and how long it is and all the, whether it's animations or talking or playing music. These things certainly play into it. So let's go back to end-of-course projects. Let's say, well, is there something else we could do? Now, if I click Start Attempt 2, I want to maybe, what if I'm going to go to Submission. And now I already did the attachment, so, I could do cloud storage, but what about YouTube? Maybe it's a more complicated project. Could be a short project with animations or just a longer talking head project. Either way, you might be feeling the whole YouTube vibe. So if I want to do this on YouTube and the video's already there, it does make it pretty easy. So, like for example, if I go to my education channel, and I know that if we just pretend for a moment this was an actual assignment, maybe it was listed, unlisted, whatever it is. But let's say that if I just click on this one video, Professor's shocking discovery about lost learning. I mean, really, this is just for sample purposes. If you know the title, you could put it in there. But I'm going to do this. I could hit share. That may not work. So, I mean, I could really, if I just copy, I mean, if I actually click on the video, I can do this, but I'll do a quick mute on that. If you know what, you can just put it in the search bar, but okay, now I'm going to come out of here. Again, lots of ways to do these kind of things. Struggling or have obstacles. We may be drawn to a song that we might. Okay, let me mute that and pause. All right. So let me come back over here. So when you click on YouTube, if you know like what the video is or what you're searching for, of course you can put it in there. And I could use a notes, text, Word, and have some stuff ready to go. But you can search. Like I can just put, even if I'm like, well, maybe I want to just go Padlet. I say like Padlet hacks. Will it find, like, if I just think I know I've made some videos on that, like, is it going to, yeah, it pulls it up. So if you know, like, you're good, I have 2 videos on that, one for students, one for professors. So if you were pretending, hey, that's like you have your own channel. Now this is, I mean, it's going to work if it's a public video. This works very well. But if you're doing YouTube and it's unlisted and or private, the search isn't going to work, because for unlisted videos and private videos, the YouTube algorithm is not it's not pushing those through recommendations and or browse. It's not pushing them through anything. The big thing about the private videos is if a video is private, then the person that that person's YouTube channel, if all their videos are private and they want to share that private link, they'd have to email that link to the people that they want to watch it, and it's not cataloged, and on YouTube. It's not searchable on YouTube. Any private videos that you make, if you select private, it's not you can't search it up. It's not recommended. It's not going to be on the home page. It's not going to be browsed. Like you're just it's not going to be anywhere for private. So this only works if stuff is public, because only public videos can be found through search. Public is wide open, and private is just, hey, you make a video, upload to YouTube, you make it private, and you'd have to email the link to whoever you want to be able to view that video. Then the difference between, say, like an unlisted video, which I'll upload a quick YouTube video in a second to show you, but if the video is unlisted, the cool thing about unlisted videos is you can put an unlisted video, say, like in a playlist, and it will be visible. It's still not going to be searchable. All the same stuff applies for unlisted. But with unlisted, you can share, like, say, unlisted video like on your social media, and people can click it and actually go watch that video. So that is very, very cool. One of the benefits of an unlisted video on a YouTube channel, I'd say very short and sweet, is if I click back over on YouTube, and let's say I wanted to make this Let's Get Drumming video, I go into my menu, and let's say I go over to your videos, and I've got a video, and let's say it's this STC PASIC snare line, and I wanted to make it private, or I wanted to unlist it. If I actually unlist that video, then there won't be any broken links. And I think that's the cool thing about unlisted, is it's still not cataloged, but if you posted that anywhere, the link, you won't have dead links if you decided to go from public to unlisted. So private is completely private. Unlisted, you can use it however you like. It's more visible. So like a private video, you can't take a private video like and embed it in a website, but you can embed an unlisted video, and it'll show and play in a website. That's cool, but it just won't be cataloged. Kind of cool, right? I'll do some more stuff on that later, but let me get out of this and come back to the class. So with this, if I pretend that's the assignment and just go, hey, here we go. Enough talking, right? This content displays online if the browser allows. Let's insert it. And you see it shows right there. Isn't that kind of cool? And if we pretend for a second that like that's the assignment, now if I save and close and submit it, I'm done. But this is one way. I'm not going to save this, but just kind of want to show you. Now, what if I want to go a different direction? So this is me just, kind of understanding a few basics. So another thing I can do in terms of like something real quick, and this might take a minute. So as I do this, and it takes a little while, maybe I'll fast forward this part a little bit later. But we want to go, let's go to YouTube, and just as a practice, I'm going to upload a video right now. I know, like stone cold while I'm recording. Goodness. I practice this stuff kind of all the time, and even for the training, but hey, you never know. Hopefully it all goes well. Wish me luck here. Select files, and all we're going to do is just try to find something we can upload like super quick and then show you. I'll stick with the really, really small one, stcprojectsample.mov. Okay, it's going to upload the file. It's going right now. I'm not going to worry too much about this. I can always change this stuff later. We're not here to learn how to do YouTube, just how to use it. So make sure the title is pretty much relative or to the assignment. Don't worry about all this other fancy stuff that you see. As I'm have a YouTube education channel, if you're curious, ask me questions, and I can tell you more about all this other fancy stuff. But for now, STC project sample, and then here I could write scales or rudiments or whatever. But for now, I'm just I could do STC project sample. We could go, how about, let's make it STC scale. I make sure to spell it right. STC scale project 1. Yeah, don't worry about that part right there. And then here, I'll put, how about, enjoy my marimba scales. Mr. S. Oh, I better maybe put, my percussion students call me Mr. S, and my as I said, I'm known on YouTube as Professor Ron. But either way, Mr. S, Professor Ron, it doesn't matter. Enjoy my marimba scales, Mr. S. Caps, no caps, it doesn't really matter. I think I'm spending a lot longer kind of talking about all this stuff than it does to actually do all this. Yeah, this is cool. Enjoy my marimba scales. Enjoy my marimba scales. Yeah, that's good enough. Good for practice. We'll do STC scale project 1. We'll spell it correctly. Keyboard percussion. We're not going to worry about this being searchable, but STC scale project 1 - keyboard percussion. Enjoy my marimba scales. We're not worried about any of this other stuff here. I could set it to a playlist. I'm not worried about that stuff right now. Not worrying about all the fancy bells and whistles. We just want to get it, ready for the class. That's all we want to do, is be able to turn this project in its most basic form. We're not worried about a fancy description. We're not worried about a thumbnail. We're not worried about a playlist, unless it's the playlist is relative for the class. So as we go through all this, no altered content. No, I'm going to make sure that that's all good. Automatic chapters. Not worrying about tags. Not for something like this anyway. And unless you want it to be public, I wouldn't do any of this stuff for unlisted or private. We do not want to allow any kind of remixing in case we ever change our mind for the openness of the video. And this doesn't matter too much unless you're, going to make it public or maybe unlisted. So I'm going to go ahead and just put, I could put people or blogs or music. It's not music per se in terms of, but I'll go ahead and put music anyway. And this one is 4K, but it's super, super short. And I'm going to go to the next screen. I'm not going to worry about all this other stuff. I'm going to go next. Okay, no copyright issues. I'm going to go next. And the default for YouTube is private. Now I'm going to go ahead and make it unlisted. Only you and people you choose can watch your video share privately. And if you do it, then you got to invite them via email, right? Pretty easy. That's the basics of what a private video is. You want people to see your private video, invite them, by email. So you can invite others to view your private video by entering in their email addresses below. Invites must sign into their Google account to view your private video. Easy peasy, right? Okay. We're going to do unlisted. Anyone with the video link can watch your video. That means anyone with the video link. That means unlisted videos will show in Blackboard. They'll show on websites if they get embedded there or the link is there. So keeping that in mind. And now it's unlisted. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to save it. Okay, and I can copy the link. We'll see if that works. We're going to come back over here. We're going to try. We're going to give it a shot. Maybe it's going to go. Let's try maybe here. And we'll put, let's take a look. Now, for me to test the theory, I've got to open the teacher mode, but let's see. What I think probably, because I'd have to open up the teacher mode to fully test this part out, and that's going to show other students' names and grades. So I'm going to maybe come back to this another time when I can gray out some stuff. Why don't we maybe try, instead of doing it that way, what if we, let's do what I think is smoother and easier and where we could watch the video like right now. And that is, now this doesn't typically work. I can't do it this way. Because it's not searchable. So let's see, another way we can do this. Now, it probably will work that way. I think the best way for this one is if it's searchable. But if you have the link, it should still work. But I don't know. Let me give it a try. This is where it gets tricky for what we're trying to do, because it's not in search. So it won't go there. Okay, so I'm going to come back to, I'm going to do something else and come back to that idea. Let's go over to YouTube, and I think I'm going to make sure to pause this, and we're just going to pretend like maybe this, like that one, I want to embed that and play it. See, I think the whole flow of like uploading the video and like bringing it over, it's definitely a lot trickier. So when it's unlisted. So for something I just uploaded, I'll do this. I can, let me go to videos. Just as a quick little, okay, I'll do this very, very quickly. Super quick, I might add. And I'm going to go, I'm going to turn it off right away though. Okay, and what I'm going to, let me pause this. So I'm going to take this off right away. Now let's try this. It's brand new, so this may not work. But we're trying to see, can we get this to work? Okay. So we're going to come over here, YouTube, and let's do that. Okay. So you can see this is the one I actually just did, but I'm going to turn it off very, very quickly. But this is the video I just uploaded. My student working on a project. And I'm inserting the video I just uploaded. And you can see it's there, right? So then if I submit, okay, I'm going to submit that. But now I'm going to come back over here and check this out. I'm going to make a really quick change. Okay, now I'm going to make it unlisted. I'm going to save. Okay, I'm going to come back. You don't have to go through all this much stuff necessarily, but let me go to view submissions, and I'll refresh just to show you it still works. Like it doesn't break the link. I mean, a long-winded way to get there. Sure, I could do the other way where you just let me get out of there, and we're going to come back over here. All right. You could simply just put the link, and then I could save it, and I could show you that too. But if we go over, we're in our student preview mode, assignments and projects, capstone projects, all right, end of course projects. I'm going to go to view submissions, and isn't that cool? And we can see it's right there. And I've already started playing it. Now I'm going to pause it because this is a assignment, in progress assignment basically. But you can see like that's the one I just uploaded. And while it's not going to work as smooth as we'd like it to, the other way I could have done that was simply just to put the link, and it would have worked. You know, I could show you that as well. I go to, attempt 1. See, I have to download this when I do it like that because it's uploaded. So now I'd actually have to download the file, get it to the desktop. That's for attempt 1. I go back to attempt 2. You can see it's right there. Okay, I'm going to change the screen size. I'm going to get rid of this. Okay, don't need that. Okay, cool. I downloaded the file. You can see it works. Awesome. Don't need it. Let's get rid of it. Cool. Awesome. And then the last thing would just be to maybe do it as a link from that unlisted flow. So we have to give that a whirl. Now for this to work, I need to I need to discard. So let me just discard. Okay, I'm going to come back in. All right, now I want to go to, get my student preview mode happening again. Start preview. Okay, I'm reset. All right, announcement. We're just kind of clicking through stuff we've been doing. Content. I'm going to go to my assignments and projects. All right, capstone project. Cool. End of course projects. Start attempt 1. Let's try the other theory. We've already done this, so I'm going to kind of fast food this one here. Okay, I'm down at the submission box, and I just want to do this. I'm going to come back over here. All right, showing you some of my proprietary stuff. I mean, it's just videos. I mean, let's go over here, and let's do this. Okay, let's copy. Come back over here. Let's do this. We'll put scale project. Done. Scale project. And look, even if I mess it up, look, I can fix it. Cool, right? All right. Insert. Okay, waiting. It's good. It's blue. Yay. And submit. Are you sure? Yes, of course I'm sure. I don't want to download it this time. Good to go. I don't want to do another attempt. I want to go back. I'd like to. I want to see my stuff, and I should be able to come over here. Okay, into course. All right. I want to click on here where it's the attempt, 1 submitted, and I want to click the link to make sure it's all good, and it works. So yeah, it's a lot of stuff to do, but you really can get all this video stuff pretty, fast, smooth, chill, cool, and fun. And really, the same way would work if we're trying to do like a audio file in pretty much any class. So if we let me come out of here. Let's pretend for a moment that no matter what the class is, biology, I don't know, history, I don't know, music, I mean, whatever, any class that you have to do any kind of, say, an audio project. Music is not the only class that you might have to do some kind of audio thing. So let's say that there is some class, maybe it's history. Maybe history is a good example where you need to record, some kind of audio voice project. I mean, whatever but let's start attempt 2, and let me show you how easy this is. Where, if you come down to the assignment submission box in Blackboard, and you're like, man, how do I get that audio in there? Well, you could do. I'm gonna stay away from cloud storage, but done some stuff on that earlier in this training. Let me go to How about attachment? Let's see how that's going to work out for us. And we'll do this audio assignment example M4A file. You can also see, I mean, I've made MP3s too, and this one I did not convert, but let's do this M4A. Let's see how it turns out here. And we're just going to call it sample audio. I'm going to leave it at that for now. I can come back with the display and alternative text if I want to play with that a little bit. And you can see it's pretty quick too. Isn't that cool? And now even right here, you can look. I know it's music, but check it out. Let me fast forward a little bit.
Every day that goes by is so much fun.
You hear that?
Play cajon, marimba, drum set.
And it's just a sample. And then obviously, submit that. But what if you want to, it's something, it's another one, and you want to go, okay, cool. How about this one, MP3? I'll just do the same thing. Okay, sample audio. Come back to the accessibility stuff, and let's do this. Let it finish. Okay, let's do submit. Yeah, we're good. Definitely want to recommend the MP3 flow. Not going to worry about that. Okay, 2 attempts submitted. I'm going to click on that. Check it out.
Title, Immutable. It's around 1993 or maybe 1994, and I am working at McDonald's in North Richland Hills.
Well, that's about me. I used to work at McDonald's. That was a long time ago. All right, so yeah, that's really some of the basics. So, I want to go back and make sure that I'm obviously fixing all this. I'm going to bring this back to private. All right, because it's just a practice here, and then I'm going to get out of there. All right. Okay, I'm going to come out of here. We're going to exit student preview. Okay. Exit, and we're going to discard. So that's, yeah. Hey, I think that's a wrap for today. I mean, that takes us through some things that you can do in American music, music appreciation, and of course, music courses where we're trying to figure out how to do some different things with, audio and video and Blackboard. And while there's a lot of other really cool things that you can do, I hope this gets the conversation started. So, yeah, enjoy your life, enjoy the music. I'm Professor Ron, or as my percussion students will call me, Mr. S. And my lecture American music students and music appreciation call me Professor Ron, and of course on YouTube, Professor Ron. Yeah, cool. Hey, I think you've had enough of me for one day. This has been a lot of fun. I hope this helps somebody. I guess we'll see you in the next one. Bye, everybody. We'll see you.